Peak Wealth Management proudly presents the Trust the Plan podcast with Nick Hopwood and Jim Pilat, where we believe by providing education and guidance, we can help you retire with peak confidence. Now, here are your certified financial planners, Nick and Jim.
Welcome everyone to the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jim.
Jim, it is the Feel Good edition.
Always my favorite.
Yes, sir. Hey, Jim, we can talk a little bit of football if you want, but I'm really interested in asset allocation and asset location of our investments. What do you think?
It sounds like a great topic.
It is rivalry week, though.
Yes, it is.
So we should talk a little.
Yeah, it's always a little fun time around here when Michigan State square up.
Yeah, as you know, I grew up in East Lansing. Grew up as a Spartan fan. My parents, my brother, a lot of other family members went to Michigan State. I grew up as a Spartan. Went to Michigan, became a Wolverine naturally, and now my firstborn son is a Spartan.
He's doing what you did.
He switched, yeah.
He switched.
That's right. So it'll be fun. We're going to the tailgate with him.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be fun.
That'll be neat.
Yeah.
Night game, too, this time.
Yeah, it's going to be 44 and probably pretty damp.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to be bundled up. But Michigan is favored by like 14. So there is that.
Let's hope they do it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Jim, imagine if you're 41. We're going based off a Twitter post here, just to prime the pump a little bit. So if you're 41 and you were aggressive because you have time and you emotionally can handle the ups and downs of the market, and you have your IRA, your brokerage account, your 401k, your Roth IRA, how would you want that Roth IRA invested?
If I have time on my side and I know that all Roth earnings are tax-free forever, I would want the earnings to get as big as possible. So I'd want to be as aggressive as I could in a Roth IRA at 41.
I agree. Same for me. I'm 46, and my Roth IRA is as aggressive as it gets, you know? And so the Twitter post that we're talking about here is commenting on it's another advisor commenting on someone who brought in their investments for a second opinion, and they had their Roth IRA as balanced, like 50, 60% in stocks and the rest in fixed income.
Yeah, it is surprising that it's not the only time I've heard of it or seen it. You know, I've seen other people too who make Roth contributions and because they know they should, and it just sits in the cash account, right? And it's not doing anything, and that is such a frustrating thing to do. So that is right alongside of it where you invest balance, which, you know, there's a place for a balanced allocation, but I don't know that for a 41-year-old that would be in the Roth.
There's two things that get me really fired up, Jim. One is making a Roth contribution and then letting it sit in cash. That's upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Second thing is making a non-deductible IRA contribution into a non-deductible IRA and not converting it to Roth. That gets me super fired up. That's called the backdoor Roth, guys. And people make contributions to the IRA and then they just don't get around to converting it.
They forget the most important step.
Right. That gets me upset too.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of times with these investment companies, if you just put the money into the account, they give you that low yield, right?
Yeah, you don't even get the money market, right?
Yeah, you're not getting the premium money market yield. So, all right, so why would someone do this? It looks like a mistake to me, right? It looks like something that I would be upset with if an advisor had me in that situation. Now, let's say you're retired, and maybe your Roth is a smaller piece of the pie. Well, oftentimes we'll have that be the more aggressive account, right? Even if you are retired.
Because even if you're retired, your time horizon can still be long, right? That doesn't mean you need the money next year or the year after. You still might not need that money for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, it could be bucket 4, bucket 5, legacy bucket.
Right.
And so we don't need it for a while. It can be aggressive. Okay. Oftentimes the Roths are the smaller accounts.
Yeah.
So even if it's aggressive, it doesn't take your total risk profile out of whack at all. Now, what about a regular brokerage account? So not 401s, not Roth IRAs or traditionals, just a brokerage account, a trust account, or a joint. How would we approach risk with that if you're 41?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of schools of thought with it. One of them being, well, this is the money I might need. I better keep it somewhat safe. So people would could potentially want a balanced allocation. But if you have a longer time horizon, it could be the perfect account to actually be really aggressive in. If you invest the right way, you can have an account that's not generating a lot of capital gains, a lot of distributions. We like to use ETFs, so you're not seeing a lot of tax consequence along the way. So that can be a strategy really worth exploring for someone that fits into that criteria.
So what I'm hearing you say is you want to be aggressive in both accounts for different reasons.
For different reasons, for different reasons, And I mean, obviously, I understand the market, so I do tend to be more aggressive with the way that I think about investing. And you always have to match your risk tolerance with it. But there's strategy and reasons to be aggressive in both of those accounts, I would say.
For the Roth, because you want that tax-free to be maximized, and for the brokerage account, because you don't want that tax drag.
For sure, if you're investing in, here's another thing to think about, though, is if you're investing aggressively through mutual funds in your taxable account, that doesn't work anymore because they have to pay out those distributions every year. So you could still have a big tax burden. So it's really important to make sure you're using the right vehicle, which is typically an ETF, but also the right strategist, because some strategists are high turnover and they're going to keep generating capital gains. So you really want to pick one that is a low turnover strategist that's not going to generate capital gains for this to work the way that we're talking about.
I think that's really well said. So we want to pick the right account, pick the right tax status, and the right strategy, the right risk tolerance, and the right strategist. So we have to hit on all these.
Yeah, all very important parts of the process.
Sounds like we should hire someone to help us with that. All right, so I think that covers it. It's the right level of risk, the right asset allocation, in the right asset location. So if you have a Roth IRA that's maybe too conservative, or a brokerage account that's creating a lot of tax for you, reach out to us for a second opinion. You can schedule online at peakwm.com.
Peak Wealth Management thanks you for watching and listening to the Trust the Plan podcast, featuring certified financial planners Nick Hopwood and Jim Pilat. If you enjoyed our program, please subscribe and share. If you'd like to learn more about our services, please visit peakwm.com. peakwm.com today. See you next week.